I'm Adam Pacitti from Cultaholic.com, and it's time for a horror show. No, Ric Flair isn't so hard up he started in OnlyFans. Yet. Extreme Rules 2020's here! Come on, Andrew! Do some spooky stuff in the edit, quick. Woo! Terrifying. We're keeping things really simple for this one. Predictions are just for fun, but we will be providing all of the usual lovely content, including what happened at, including WTF, graded, we've got pictures coming up on Friday, all of the usual stuff. You know how it works by now. And also, I will be live streaming reactions, so come and join the fun. And by fun, I mean horror, because we've got a swamp match, we've got an eyeball being pulled out of its socket. The only thing that would make it scarier is if Nia Jax herself was on the card. Please don't do it, Vince. Let's get on with the predictions. So first up is a match that hasn't been formally announced by WWE yet. Like, I thought it was confirmed on SmackDown on Friday night, but there's nothing on WWE.com yet, but it's going to happen, isn't it? It is the Barroom Brawl featuring Sheamus and Jeff Hardy. I am taking Jeff Hardy for this one. I was willing to give this a chance at the beginning, and I thought the first night with the car and bloody Jason Jordan out there and all that stuff, I thought, oh, this could be all right, you know. It's a bit close to the line, but if they're sensitive with this, it could blend reality and kayfabe in a really, really captivating way. And since then, we've seen Jeff Hardy glass an innocent man, and Sheamus get covered in piss. This needs to finish, Jeff Hardy needs to come out on top, and we all need to forget about it.
End the pain, leave the memories alone, let's get blackout drunk and forget any of this ever happened. Jeffrey Hardy to get the big feud-ending victory here, and what's more, he's going to do it by stabbing Sheamus with a broken-off pint glass, because when it comes to Jeff Hardy, he gets away with any kind of glassware assault. Oh my God! I'm extreme!
The bar fight needs to be Jeff Hardy's redemption story. Jeff needs to win this. So I'm picking Jeff to win this. Plus, I'm predicting a swanton bomb off either a jukebox, the bar, or a pool table.
Next up, the new United States title is on the line as MVP squares off against champion Apollo Crews. Now, I should be backing Apollo Crews. He's younger. He's hungrier. He's better in the ring. I'm going for MVP though, because I found MVP so tremendously entertaining since he's been back in WWE. For me, he's a highlight of Raw. And when I think of the United States title, MVP is a face that pops straight into my brain, and I want to see him have one more run with the gold. And I know that's wrong. You shouldn't be backing MVP. He's about 65 years old now. I know he's not, don't comment. I'm going for MVP because and he can be a transitional champ. That's fine. I don't want him to hold it for ages. I don't want him to go on and win a world title. Nothing like that. But one more run with the gold because he deserves it. Sorry, Apollo.
In this battle of my belt is better than your belt, I do believe that MVP will be the man to come out on top here. First of all, because his belt is actually better than Apollo Crews's. Imagine if Apollo Crews wins and he sat there thinking, oh, this bastard MVP's brought his belt in, I've got my belt. He'll look like a right numpty if he keeps his belt on top of MVP's. Second of all, MVP and the Hurt Business have been at the forefront of Raw over the last little while Apollo Crews simply hasn't been featured as much. And on top of that, an MVP victory, in my opinion, gives you a lot more storyline possibilities coming out of Extreme Rules 2020. Bloody hell, that one hurt, Montel. You do ball, don't you? But I'm extreme.
MVP has been gallivanting with that shiny new US championship, and he needs a comeuppance. It seems weird to have him steal the belt, own the new one, and then win it properly from Apollo Crews. So this needs to be Crews polishing off MVP and holding up that shiny new US title. So my pick is for Apollo Crews.
Next up, it's Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio. And what's on the line here? Oh yeah, your sight. It's an eye for an eye match. The winner is the man who removes the other man's eyeball. If you've not been following WWE TV, I'm not making this up. I promise. It's a horror show. I'm taking Seth Rollins here because Rey Mysterio, the ultimate babyface, cannot get his ice cream scoop, I assume, out and pop out Seth Rollins' eye. That's not what he's about. Why are these words even coming out of my mouth? If we want to get a bit more analytical about it, Rey Mysterio reportedly hasn't signed a new deal with WWE. This could be an easy way to write him off. I don't want to talk about it anymore. A man is going to have his eyeball removed. And it might be great. I don't know. God.
How many times have we been told the only way to win is by extracting one of your opponent's eyes? I'll tell you, a hell of a lot. So many times, in fact, I reckon WWE have given themselves a get-out clause from this preposterous bloody thing. As much as I want to see all of the horrible, crappy CGI gimmicks in the world, as much as I want to see all of the horrible special effects that belong in films from the 1970s that had a budget of 10 whole pounds, I reckon they've mentioned that thing there so many times we're going to have a no contest, no winner, a double, whatever you want to call it. Both Ronald Mysterio, yes, and Seth Rollins will keep both of their eyes. Where do these keep coming from? I'm extreme.
This is a funny one because whoever loses this, there is career-long ramifications, really. I do quite like the idea of Seth Rollins wrestling the entire of his career with an eye patch. I think it's quite a strong look. So I'm actually picking Rey Mysterio to gouge Seth Rollins' eye out. I'm sure there's a way they can retcon it down the road, you know, have Rollins walk out of a stem cell clinic and go, why are we not funding this? They could figure that out, but Rey to win.
Next up, the SmackDown Women's Championship is on the line as the challenger Nikki Cross takes on the champion Bayley. First of all, I just want to say, it's brilliant seeing Nikki Cross on pay-per-view in a women's title match. That's great, isn't it? Because we were all a little bit worried when the rest of Sanity got called up without her. They broke Sanity up, and we were like, oh man, Nikki's gonna struggle here. What are they gonna do with Nikki? But she's been brilliant. I really enjoy her partnership with Alexa Bliss. It looks like they're having a lot of fun doing it. And yeah, seeing her in a title match on pay-per-view, thumbs up from me. Well done. But she's not winning, is she? No, I'm taking Bayley for this one. I think Sasha Banks is going to get involved and cost Nikki Cross the match. Bayley's going to retain. And Sasha's stuff is going to play into the next match too. So I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second.
Bayley and Sasha Banks have been one of, if not the best things going on WWE TV over the last little while, and in my opinion, as long as Bayley's record-breaking SmackDown Women's title reign continues, and as long as Sasha Banks is beside her, that is a good thing. That is why I am going for Bayley to retain over Nikki Cross, and what's more, Nikki Cross really doesn't have the steam behind her, does she? Ow! What the bloody hell was that? Is that... it's a ladder. I'm extreme.
Both the Golden Role models have been class acts over the last few months, and I don't see Bayley's reign ending unless it's Sasha Banks that's doing the ending. So as much as I love Nikki, this one is going to Bayley in my view.
Next up, the Raw Women's title is on the line as Sasha Banks challenges Asuka for the gold. I mentioned earlier how I thought Sasha Banks was going to get involved in the Bayley versus Nikki match, allowing Bayley to retain her SmackDown Women's title. I think Bayley is going to do something similar in this match, maybe even when Sasha looks like she's got the bloody thing won, but Bayley is going to balls it up for her. Sasha's not going to walk away with the Raw Women's title. Asuka's going to retain, and that is going to ramp up the tension between Bayley and Sasha, leading to what I think will be an eventual SummerSlam match between the two. And I don't even know if that needs a title on the line. Like, I don't know if Bayley will be SmackDown Women's Champion. Come SummerSlam, Sasha might cost her that belt down the line at some point. I don't think they'll be tag champs either. I don't think it needs any gold. I think that it's just a heated rivalry between two of the best women's wrestlers in the world, and it should be a real money match and a spectacular bout.
Asuka for the win here, and I say this because of happenings on this week's Talking Raw. That's what it's called, with Renee Young and Daniel Bryan. That's also who hosts it. On that show, it was teased that maybe, just maybe, we might get a big Raw Women's Championship match between Asuka and her Kabuki Warrior partner, Kairi Sane. I am banking on these reports in the dirty sheets that Kairi Sane is not going to re-sign with WWE. She's going to go back home to Japan, spend some time with her husband. I reckon that we're going to get Asuka versus Kairi Sane at SummerSlam. A big half-an-hour slobber knocker match. A crazy match. Those two are fantastic professional wrestlers. Asuka retains at SummerSlam. Kairi gets a fitting send-off. But to get there first... Oh! Bloody hell. But to get there first, we need Asuka to defend against Sasha Banks. Asuka to win. I'm extreme, I swear.
I still don't think we've seen the best of Asuka as Raw Women's Champion, and I feel like this match with Sasha Banks, whilst it will be great, isn't the end of her reign. You can have some fun in continuing that story of Bayley and Banks, the dissension that slowly ticks away between them, by having Bayley involved in the finish somehow. I'm picking Asuka to retain her Raw Women's Championship, but a little bit of shenanigans along the way.
Next up, we've got Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman in a Wyatt swamp fight. It's the horror show. I'm taking Bray Wyatt here for a couple of reasons. First of all, I think they do want to do the three faces of Wyatt thing, and I think we'll get The Fiend versus Braun Strowman at SummerSlam. The second, the title's not on the line, is it? The title will be on the line at SummerSlam. I think this is probably the easiest match on the card to predict, and it should be a bit of fun, right? I like the cinematic matches, so it'll be interesting to see what they do here. Lots of special effects, I hope.
Bray Wyatt can't lose the first ever Wyatt Swamp Thing. Don't be so silly, dear viewer. That would be like The Undertaker losing a buried alive match. Oh, he did, didn't he? That would be like Mankind losing a boiler room brawl. Oh, he did the same as well, didn't he? That would be like the bloody Great Khali himself losing inside the Punjabi prison. He did that as well, didn't he? Bloody hell. That has it then. That's it sorted. Braun Strowman will win inside the swamp on Sunday. At the end of the day, this is classic cult leader Bray Wyatt. He talks a big game. It comes to doing the wrestles or the swamping, and he comes up short. At the end of the day, we're just building one more step towards SummerSlam, where The Fiend will eat Braun Strowman. Nothing happened that time. Lovely, eh?
All the fun we are going to have with a swamp match. This is going to be a spectacle. It really is. But I predict that Braun Strowman is going to walk out with his WWE Championship. I think that it seems obvious that if Braun's going to lose to anybody, it's going to be The Fiend, not Swampy Bray Wyatt. Not that one. So Braun to leave the swamp with his title.
And finally, the WWE title is on the line. Drew McIntyre taking on Dolph Ziggler. And Drew's winning, isn't he? It's 2020. Dolph Ziggler is not going to win the WWE title from Drew McIntyre. Drew's been brilliant. He feels like a champion. He isn't dropping the title to Dolph. I don't know what else to say about this. Hey, Dolph's going to make him look amazing, right? He's going to sell like a madman for him. I don't know what the stip's going to be. I think it's probably going to be that the Claymore is banned. And so Drew will just headbutt him to death, I guess.
Drew McIntyre will win this one, quite frankly, because one of the people in this match is Drew McIntyre, while the other is Dolph Ziggler. I am extreme.
Sorry, I just dropped my skull. This is not the end of the road for Drew McIntyre. Dolph Ziggler's kind of got this legacy now as the guy that can get there but can't quite get there. So whilst this will be a really fun match that they have, this is another galvanisation of the era of the Drew. So Drew McIntyre to retain his WWE Championship here.
So those are our predictions. Thank you very much for watching this video. Keep an eye out on Friday for 9 pitches for the horror show at Extreme Rules. And then keep an eye out after the show for what happened at, for Graded, for WTF. And of course, join me on Sunday night for live reactions to it's youtube.com/cultaholic/live. Take care of yourselves. Andrew, do some spooky stuff again. Woo! We have fun. See ya.